Okay, so today we are going to talk a little bit about the cosmic goings on, in addition to pulling cards as a collective reading. And at the end, remember, if you stay all the way at the end, you get your own personal reading. And I'll pull 3 cards. You pick which one before I flip them over. You ask your question, and it's all going to be related to our full moon and our eclipse and all the things that are going on. This week is huge, you guys. Eclipse portal's open. Okay, let's do a rundown because and I'm looking over here because I have my notes, just so you know I'm not like spacing out. So we have on Tuesday, September 17th at 9:34 p.m. Central Time, so adjust for wherever you are in the world. We have a full moon in Pisces. Full moons are harvesting, releasing, gratitude. Pisces, high side Pisces is intuition, that still small voice, and listening to that, and in creativity, dreams, exploring and pushing your boundaries in a healthy way, imagination, like dreaming things up. The low side of Pisces is illusion, like wind or delusion, escapism, addictions, leaning into those things, numbing out versus actually being present for yourself. The high side of Pisces being present for self. Low side of Pisces is self abandonment. And Pisces is also the end of the zodiac. It's the last sign. And this whole thing is at the end of the degree, which means that we are at that point where all the lessons around this stuff, whether we are coming to be. And when I tapped into spirit, the energy or the invitation for us for this whole thing is choice. It's all about our choice. Are we going to, and there's the choice about how we're going to rebalance it. So there's a karmic rebalancing around the eclipse. Now remember, karma isn't a bitch. She's just there. She just is what it is. Like money isn't evil. It's what you do with it. That's really the challenge or the win. So understand that karma is more about balancing your energy or balancing your energy via relationship. So whether it's relationship with other where you've had discord and you need to resolve that in some way, if it's energy within yourself and your discord is in self. And I think that's part of what this is, because Pisces is all about how you navigate your inner world via the input of the outer world. Are you listening to what other people are saying about you and judging yourself the way they're judging you? Or are you, no, I know me and I'm good. And the reason this is important and why the next 2 weeks of the eclipse portal being open and really presenting us with those lessons of balance or those opportunities to choose to step back into balance, which again, not always pretty, neat, and tidy, could be messy, could be challenging. And then the choice is, do I step up to this from a place of curiosity and from a place of, I'm being triggered. What's going on here? What does this really mean for me? Maybe getting with a coach, getting with a friend that's on that same journey, getting with a therapist and having those conversations about, I wonder, I was super triggered, it made me really mad. And instead of standing in that madness and really saying, I'm not going to abandon myself. I'm not going to numb out. I'm not going to do the low vibration version of Pisces. I'm going to step into the higher vibration version of Pisces and lean in and ask myself, what's going on here? When is this trigger from? Is it from my childhood, from my teen years? What is it? Like, where did it come from? And whose voice is this, or whose energy was I buying into that made this trigger? Because it's not about somebody doing something. Yes, them doing something will elicit a triggered response, but it's more about, what am I doing to be the person that I want to be? That person who is healthfully testing their boundaries, leaning into their intuition, their still small voice of self. Okay. What is that? What does that look like for me? That's the question and the challenge, to get back into balance, to have those karmic lessons during this eclipse time. So that is our full moon lunar eclipse, and that's on Tuesday. And then that lasts, the eclipse portal lasts until the next new moon cycle, which will be the 2nd of October. Okay, so we're going to have a couple of weeks here that will be either on that journey and experiencing that. Your lesson might not be as intense as maybe somebody else's, but yours is to witness them. And being the witness is setting aside the discomfort we feel in witnessing those that we love struggling. having to work through the challenges, making these choices and letting them make them, whether it's messy or not. As a collective, we are witnessing others, like when we see other parts of the world or other people going through things as a collective, as whether a global community member and seeing other people in other countries, these are things that are going to get intense. And it's because it's the opportunity to make that choice of rebalancing of self. Am I going to ground into myself and what I know I am, who I am, that solar plexus, that really connected to self thing? Or am I going to numb out and buy into the bullshit of what other people have chosen from birth to today that I am supposed to be for them, or that I'm numbing out because I don't like what they're saying about me, versus really standing in your own power, taking your power back and going, no, I am this. I don't care what you say. This is who I am. And I'm a good person. And I am worth loving. And I am enough. And I am beautiful. And I am an extension of source energy, and thusly I am source energy. And so I am divinely protected, divinely loved. If you don't like it, you need to tune into your own stuff and get out of my energy. Which camp? The numb out is super easy because you just numb out. Pisces is all about addictions and numbing out in the low vibrational form of it. So if you want to do that, opportunity is there. I would beg of you not to take that path. But the fact is that the opportunity, the energy is there for that, but the energy is also there to support you through your meditation, leaning into spirit, leaning into your faith, understanding that you and source have a relationship that probably needs some healing right now. So leaning into those things and really maybe the 4 agreements, those are my bedrock. Don't take things personally. Don't make assumptions. Be impeccable with your word and really know that you're doing your best no matter what's going on. Like the 4 agreements, if you've not read it, that would be one of the books that would probably be a good anchor for you during this time. Okay. So that's where we're at as far as astrology is concerned. So let's check in with spirit. I want to pull 3 cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 3 different decks. Okay. So if you're interested in any of these decks, like you're like, oh, I love that deck, or I want that deck, the descriptions are below. Yes, they are affiliate links. So if you buy one, I get a little kickback to help keep producing stuff on the channel. But anyway, so we're going to pull our main card, our answer card from the Sword of Light. Then the first helper card will be from Spirit Animal deck by Colette Baron-Reid. This one is by Raleigh, Valentine. And then I actually created a deck of my meditation minute. You can use it as a meditation point, a mantra, or just a great little affirmation to get you through the day. I have one friend who pulls a card a day and puts it on her computer at work to a reminder to be grounded. So that's another reason why I'm going to put it. So if you love any of these, even this one, if you wanted to grab one of these for yourself or for a friend, the link to buy this deck is also in the description. So if you love any of these, you go ahead and get them. But let's first, we're going to, and this is a reading for the collective. At the end, I'll pull 3 cards and I'll explain that when we get there. Our question, I think the best question right now is, as a collective, what do we need to know to best support ourselves through this eclipse season? Because I think it's going to be a doozy, but in a good way. I always say I don't want to be fear-mongering because I don't think that's right. What I do feel is it's going to be really intense. And so choosing curiosity over numbing out or self-abandonment is huge. So that's a big one. But yeah, let's see. This card, I think. Duh. Oh my God, you can't make shit up, guys. Okay, so then we're going to pull our animal spirit card. This will be our first helper. So, as you can tell, I'm not the super most great shuffler ever. This one, I think. Interesting. And then our last will be our meditation card. Yes. Okay, so the answer, so if our question is, what do we need to know to move through this eclipse portal with ease and grace? Let's do that one. Deeper insights are at hand. I think this is great. Deeper insights are at hand. Your overall plan is good, but the details need work. Reflect a little more before moving forward. Now, that basically is what we're talking about here. So, all of the stuff that we have learned for the last couple of months, because the end of June, July, August has been, and then Mercury retrograde, which just ended, like shadow and everything last week, was a bit much. It was much. So I think this is about right now. We went through a week or so of chill where you can gather your thoughts and collect yourself and then started your plan. This is more saying, okay, your plan is solid, but the details of how we're going to execute that plan, that's where we need work. And that's probably where this eclipse is going to come through, because what it's going to do, it's going to get rid of whatever else is in the way. So when we start to execute a plan, whether it is for work, for personal, it might be buying a car, buying a house, getting married, getting divorced, all kinds of life choices. Where are you going to live? What are you going to do in your relationship with yourself, with others? Who am I going to step into my authenticity, or am I going to keep living based on what other people tell me, because that just keeps everybody else comfortable? I'm not happy, but would I rather be happy and be authentic and then have real friendships and relationships based on the real version of me? Like, those, all that stuff that you came to conclusion from over the last couple of months, that is a good plan, whatever that is. The details to get from A to Z are you're fuzzy on. And so this eclipse might be probably testing the metal of that and giving you more clarity as you navigate each situation, so that at the end of it, you're like, okay, not only do I have a plan, I have a map. So it's not only do I want to go on vacation in Italy, I know how I'm going to get there. I know the best way to get there. I know the most cost effective, time effective way to get there, where I'm going to stay, like all the places, like I know what I'm doing. That might be what this is. Okay. So think of it that I try to put it in innocuous terms. So it's not, because it's not. Okay. I have a plan. The plan is solid. The execution of the plan, not so clear on, but don't worry, it's coming, because the plan is big, and executing that plan and doing it right and time efficiently, and cost could be any of your three commodity: time, energy, and money, is really what we're doing right now. So then this is really funny, because I love Stag Spirit, which is actually the cover art for the deck. Spirit is take the lead. But take the lead, it comes in upside down, means I didn't know that, I forgot that I knew that, or I'm being a whiny baby because I know it and I don't wanna. I really think this is the latter of the two, depending on who you are. So taking the lead in your own life can be really challenging, especially when we're raised to look for other people to lead us. That's what most of our programming is, to let somebody smarter, wealthier, of more status lead the masses. When the fact is that we all have full capability to be our own leaders. And really, who's better to lead you than you? Because you know you. And if you go through this process, you go through that end of June, July, August, really shedding the skin, wheat from the chaff, figuring out who you are, and then now going through that wormhole to be like, okay, how do I execute on that project? Really remembering, are the leader. You are the leader in your own life. You are the star in your own story. You are the person who's making the decisions of how you're going to experience any situation, good, bad, ugly. It doesn't really matter. You choose. That means you are the lead. You are the star. You are the person in your life that is telling you where to go. I don't have any choices business is bullshit. We always have a choice. It's doing the choice that feels the best to you, that is also in alignment with your soul, is what's going to get you ahead. And that only way you can do that is to be your own leader. And remember that it's okay to do that. It's okay to go against the programming. It's okay to be the person that you need to be to lead yourself into your own future. That's what this medicine is for. It's that reminder. And our last card is our affirmation card. It is safe for me to feel worthy of all that I desire. And of course, that blends perfectly, because our first card is, hey, remember who you are. Step into that. Second one is, be your own leader. That's how you'll lead yourself ahead. Third one is, you're worthy of everything you desire. So when we put all of these together, it's saying, remember who you are. Lead yourself forward. And it's safe for you to do and have all those things. We just got to navigate through these bumpy lessons of balance to get there. And the only way to get there is to ground yourself into who you are. Because once you know your North Star, once you know who you are, you can sit and say to yourself, every choice that comes to me, I'm going to measure it up against the measuring stick of who I authentically am, not who my parents thought I should be, not who Aunt Tilly thought I should be, not who my seventh grade teacher told me I should be. Letting go of all of that crap, which is really hard, y'all. I think I'm no different than anybody else. We all have those inner things that chafe our soul a little bit. And we have to let them go so that we can step into this, become our own leader, and know we're worthy of everything we desire. For this week as a collective, I really believe that this eclipse is really a call to inner balance, a call to karmic balancing. The choice is really going to be huge between, do I lean on the high side of the Pisces or do I lean on the low side? And I'm going to beg you yet again, stay in the high version of it. Going out and having cocktails and all that stuff is super easy to do when things don't feel good, or chewing a couple of gummies or all that, whatever that is. The fact is that, yeah, sometimes we need some stuff for support, but not when it becomes an addictive habit. That's what I'm going to encourage you to stay away from, whether it's overeating, over exercising, overworking, burying your head in the sand in one form or another so that you don't have to deal with things. Because when we do that, it just puts things off. And then when retrogrades come around, things come back up. I want you to take a minute and take a good inhale. And as you exhale, just let your body soften. Inhale one more time. And exhale, let those shoulders drop. Now, to feel worthy of all that I desire. Inhale. It is safe for me. Exhale. To feel worthy of all that I desire. One more inhale. It is safe for me. And exhale. To feel worthy of all that I desire. Okay. That's where we want to stay. That's where we want to be. So part two of our weeklies is where I pull 3 cards. I'm going to invite you right now to specific message for this interesting full moon, lunar eclipse, and an equinox / Mabon, which again is, to me, whenever I see equinox, and it might be because I was born on the equinox, but I really feel like the equinox is when we shift from the outer world to the inner world. That's because the seasons are coming into fall and winter where things start getting ready for hibernation, like really pulling up all of what's left in the garden, putting up, gathering your seeds, all that kind of stuff. But really reflecting on, what did I do this summer, but from a spiritual perspective. So and I think the energy of the eclipse, the energy of the moon, it's a really great lead-in for that. So what I want you to do is this. The question will be, what do we need to know? Or what would be super supportive for me? I'm going to switch over to the animal cards. Me and Spirit are having an argument because I can't decide in which cards. So what would be my medicine to support me through this eclipse portal, this full moon, lunar eclipse, Mabon thing that goes all the way to the 2nd of October. So what I want you to do right now, before I even pull these cards, is you're going to pick a 1, a 2, or a 3. So you're going to fall into one of 3 groups, and that will be the message for you in answer to that question. Okay, so here we go. Just give you a minute. Take a good breath. Pick your number. Take a moment. Pick your number. 1, 2, or 3. You have your numbers? Okay, I'm going to pull the cards. I think that's my 1. This is my 2. And that's my 3. Okay. And I have not flipped them over. I have them face down, so I'm going to flip them over and read them as we go. So for you ones, remember, this is our what is the medicine for me as I navigate this. So all my ones, my number ones, you are all mouse spirit, tend to the small things. What does that mean? Like a mouse, although Mice are little cute little things, but when they get in your house and start running around, especially in the fall, as we come into the fall, they're adorable, but they're annoying. They're literally ankle biters. So tending to the small things will make your life a lot easier. So are you like, as part of your small things, balancing your checkbook? That might be your small thing you got to do, which is a pain in the butt. Nobody likes to do it. But once it's done, you feel accomplished and you don't got to worry about how much money do I got in my checking account. So tend to the small little things, like stuff that you've been putting off. So that's the medicine that will get you through this eclipse season. If you've been putting off your self-care, that'll take 10 or 15 minutes. Go ahead and do that. Taking a moment, and in those small little moments when you're feeling triggered, take that breath moment and get yourself back to center so you can make a decision from a responding place. Tend to your small things, the little things that you don't think are worth it, but actually, if you don't tend to them, become big, ginormous problems, like getting your oil changed. So if your needs changing in the car, I remember when I was a kid, I'd just be like, nah, I don't want to deal with it. No, I don't want to deal with it. And then all of a sudden the car wouldn't start. My dad had to let kerosene through the engine to clean all the gunk out, and then change the oil. So it's a little 15-minute, 20-minute thing, but it keeps the car going. So make sure you do that. So all my number ones, tend to your small things. Number two, so who do we have here? Ooh, owl. All my number twos. Love this. Owl spirit. You see clearly now. So I think all of you number twos out there, your medicine right now is the clarity that's going to come when you lean into the higher side of Pisces. You're leaning into your intuition, your spirituality, your faith that you lean into, your maybe your dreams, or like pushing those boundaries in a healthy way, not in an addictive way, but in a healthy way, seeing what can I do and where can I expand myself. Maybe getting your imagination going and jotting down those ideas, like the clarity that's going to come from leaning into all of that is going to be huge for you. So all you number twos, make sure you remember as you go through the next couple of weeks that owl is with you and giving you clarity if you choose to receive it. That means taking the moments to sit down and give yourself some pondering time, because owls have a tendency, they'll sit on a branch and be looking around forever. They can wait. They're in for the long game. So this is the clarity, and they can see in the dark, and they are just the wisdom incarnate. So really, but you have to give yourself that space to do that stuff. So number two is give yourself the space and the clarity will come. And let's see. And our number threes, hummingbird spirits. For those of you that are number threes, this is really a message, because it's be here now is the message, which whenever I see that, it's being grounded in self, really being connected to your inner being and being fully, your practice is going to be meditation or any other practice that keeps you present in the moment. So make sure if you're a number three, that's going to be your medicine to help you through, is present moment medicine, meditation, maybe a walking meditation, yoga nidras, all yoga in general, physical yoga, whatever you do to be present and grounded in the current moment, that will help you through your eclipse season. Okay. So again, number ones, tend to your small things. Number twos, be present and see clearly now. Take the time to make sure that you are gaining clarity and that things are going your way. So don't second guess yourself. Number threes, be here now. Take the time out to meditate, do the yoga class, get on your grounding mat, go walk barefoot outside, hang out with the trees, whatever you do to ground into the present moment, make sure you're there for yourself and for those around you. Those are the messages for the week. Happy full moon, lunar eclipse in Pisces, and equinox / Mabon. I hope it's going to be great for everybody. If you lead from a place of curiosity versus, oh crap, you're gonna be in a better place. That's the overall message. I think that's going to get you through, especially the next 2 weeks. But that's it for my messages for today. If you loved this, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And if you need anything, all of my links are down below, whether it's the card decks, making an appointment, or checking things out. I would love to hear from you in the comments too. Which one of these did you choose? 1, 2, or 3? So come and tell me. And I am so excited to connect with you. But until next time, I will see you in the vortex. And again, this is Soul Coach Michele, your friendly neighborhood super woo and soul coach. Have a great week. Bye-bye.